Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you can all hear me and see me. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you're tuning in. Again, thank you so much. We have a short but jam-packed session for you today. So I do want to dive right in. And just for context, this is an encore session from an event we held at Suite World this past fall, where we discussed our product roadmap and our AI strategy in some detail. The title of today's session is Unlocking Growth in the AI Era. So let's get into it and talk about what we're going to cover today. So today we want to talk about how we here at Zone & Co. are positioning our products and our strategy in relation to NetSuite's own advancements. So as everyone probably knows or have heard, there were a lot of announcements that were made at Suite World. Today we're going to highlight the big ones and explain how our solutions work in orchestration with NetSuite to make the platform better, faster, and stronger. Specifically, we'll look at how Zone's native platform helps you automate processes, surface critical data points, and scale with confidence. Our hope is by the end of this session, you'll see exactly what's new, what's next, and how we continue to drive measurable outcomes for our clients. So, quick intro for your hosts. I'm Elliot Cohen. I'm a private equity lead on our alliances team here at Zone & Co. I'm joined by Anthony Dixon, a platform manager in our AI practice area. So, Anthony, great to have you. Do you just want to say hello quickly?
Hi everyone, good to be here. Excited to share the AI story with you.
Awesome. Thanks, Anthony. And we'll go quick through this initial intro part and give you the main stage in just a few minutes. Just for now, quick background on me. While I'm a PE practice lead here at Zone & Co., I am an operator by heart. Prior to joining our partners team, I owned and operated business systems at several tech companies where I've worked in the past. So I mentioned that to note that I have been in your shoes. I've implemented and supported NetSuite, managing processes like order to cash, procure to pay, AP automation, and the like. I've integrated business systems from go-to-market tools like Salesforce down into back office tools like NetSuite. So business systems and operating those systems, that's kind of my sweet spot. I've transitioned into this role here at Zone & Co. to help partners and clients navigate the ecosystem, and I'm psyched to walk you through our roadmap and our strategy today and tell you more about our AI plans. So thanks again for being here. So for these next couple of slides, what I'm going to do is just really very quickly reintroduce everyone and reorient everyone to Zone & Co. at a very high level, and then I'll pass it off to Anthony to talk in more detail about our products and our AI strategy. But in the nutshell, our mission is simple. We strive to modernize business operations. We build powerful software solutions that unify workflows, operationalize data, and make complex processes streamlined and effortless. We focus primarily on the office of the CFO, and most critically to note there is that we sit directly within NetSuite. Our solutions are all built on the NetSuite platform. We exist to connect disconnected systems and processes, automate manual workflows that slow your teams down, and really make you more successful on the NetSuite platform. So, to talk a little bit more about our solutions and our offerings, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this slide, but I do want to highlight the areas in which we play. And then on the next slide, I'll get into a bit more detail. So, in terms of the areas, our solutions enhance order to cash, procure to pay, record to report, as well as some HCM and HRIS areas. So, I show this slide just to visualize the domains in which our solutions play. Next, to get into a little bit more detail, what I have on the slide here are the suite apps broken out by name and by domain. So in the order to cash space, we drive transformation with our zone billing product. Moving across the slide in the procure to pay automation and reconciliation, those are covered by our right-hand side of the slide. You have some of our HRIS and HCM tools with Zone Payroll and Zone Employee Portal. Really, the key thing to note here is whatever the domain, we extend NetSuite's power without requiring you to leave the platform. And I'll speak about that a bit more on this next slide. And this really is the most important slide when you think about Zone's technical setup. Our solutions are 100% native to NetSuite. So what does that mean? It means the user experience is the same, the data layer is the same, and there are no third-party integrations for you to manage. We package specialized automation on top of the NetSuite platform that you already trust. And the bottom line is this: operators love to use our tools because we connect dots and deliver capabilities that NetSuite kind of doesn't connect or deliver out of the box. And auditors and folks who report and rely on the business love us because the data never leaves the system. Our solutions in Align provide clean, secure, connective, and reliable workflows that can allow your company to scale. Okay. So for these next two slides, I just want to talk a little bit about strategic positioning and ecosystem updates that were announced at SuiteWorld and beyond. And I really want to explain where Zone fits in. So first and foremost, at SuiteWorld, the subscription metrics module was announced. And what that is basically a new dashboard for tracking ARR, MRR, TCV, and other more advanced subscription business metrics. We look at this as great news. Our analysis suggests that this new module will plug in directly with zone billing data that comes from our solution. When this tool becomes GA, it'll provide a visualization layer on top of our solution. And it's a great place to start when you need to look at those metrics that I mentioned. I mentioned that it's a starting place because our own reporting solutions, like Zone Reporting, can take things to the next level. And a lot of businesses these days really want to go to that next level of reporting because utilizing these subscription metrics is a common ask in order to cash transformations, ones that are driven by a tool like Zone Billing. This new NetSuite subscription metrics module is a great place to start in terms of visualizing and surfacing those data points that are brought to light by a Zone Billing. And if you want to get more advanced down the line, a more robust tool like Zone Reporting can take it even to the next level. So the subscription metrics module, great tool that we think that our Zone Billing data will plug right into natively when it's in GA. The next thing that we want to talk about is the Bill.com partnership that was announced at SuiteWorld. NetSuite highlighted a tighter partnership here with Bill.com. We actually see this as validation that the market really needs more advanced AP capabilities. The thing to note about the Bill.com and NetSuite partnership is that it is geared towards a very specific segment. US-based companies, single subsidiary setups, and very simple setups when it comes to multi-currency. Those types of workflows are really not designated for this Bill.com partnership. So in summary, if you are a complex global business and you need more, Zone Capture is a great broad tool that is going to allow you to do some of the things that might not be covered by the Bill.com and NetSuite partnership. So we still see some positioning for us to continue to support our global complex customers with our AP automation tools. Final area that I do want to mention on this slide is there was a lot of buzz at SuiteWorld about connecting LLMs, large language models, to NetSuite for ad hoc querying. And while this is exciting, applying a generic LLM to financial data leaves behind critical context. It can lack accuracy, thoroughness, and background. This is where some of our tools like Solution 7 can really shine. Solution 7 provides a live, secure, direct connection between the NetSuite data and Excel. So you're not just querying, it's a full two-way drill back live linking, right? So for finance teams who live in Excel, we believe that a structured real-time connection offers more precision and value than a generic LLM chat interface can offer for now. And a tool like Solution 7 with the direct connection to Excel allows teams to continue to work in a tool like Excel that they're familiar and comfortable with. Okay, moving on here. This brings us to the core of the discussion today, AI. NetSuite announced their AI Next vision, but realistically, those advanced features are slated for the late part of next year or even 2027. And some of that announcements and the capabilities that were announced at SuiteWorld will be restricted to North America. So what we're trying to do is move fast. We are delivering global wins now and doing that incrementally, and we'll build on what we deliver over time. So today, we already have AI in zone capture and in zone billing. Anthony's going to talk more about this, but in capture, we have context-aware three-way matching driven by advanced OCI technology. And in zone billing, we have our advanced help chatbot interface that can allow you to get up to speed with your implementation and the nuts and bolts of the product. Next, we're moving towards more agentic AI. These will be agents that independently plan, reason, and provide insights based on your NetSuite and zone data. So in summary, our AI differentiator is going to be specialized intelligence. Unlike generic tools, our AI will be enhanced with deep domain expertise and the permissions and controls that you are used to getting with our tools. So that's just a very short and brief background on Zone and some of the recent announcements made at SuiteWorld. But to take us deeper on how we're going to build into the future, I'm going to hand it over to Anthony. So Anthony, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about Zone AI, which is really just a new name for something that Zone's been doing for years, or Commit's been doing for years now, which is bringing finance native AI that actually works to the products we use. And in particular, the way we've been doing this is with zone capture, which we've had it, as already mentioned, we've been doing for a while now, and we continue to do and continue to improve on. So we're thinking about AI in 4 different ways. We've just hit the next slide there, please. You can see that we're thinking about this in 4 different ways. We've got point automation, smart execution, proactive insights, and active learning. And so what is point automation is making things faster. It doesn't always have to be with Gen AI. And in fact, we prefer to use just standard AI whenever we can, because sometimes it can be more reliable. What we want to do when we move on from that is look at smart execution. Smart execution is going to take your workflows and it's going to be complete those workflows powered by AI, starting with natural language, creating the workflow with the permissions that you have inside of NetSuite, checking in with you before that workflow is completed, and then go and doing it. Again, saving you time, saving you hassle trying to understand how to use the system, and making it easier and better for you. Next off, though, we don't just want to make things faster. We want to bring things to your attention that you might not know or might not have the time to go and look for. So we're talking about proactive insights, always on intelligence that understands what you've got in your NetSuite account, understands what you kind of should have, and then will surface that up to you. Last but by no means least is we want the active learning. All of these systems are great, but they everyone has different customizable use cases. And what we've got to ensure is that we learn from the inputs of the system. So in zone capture, zone reconcile, those point AI matching, the workflows, we want to be able to close that loop, understand the outputs that we've given to people, see how they differed, and then bring that in so the next time round we increase the accuracy. Okay, so what I'm going to go and do now is have a look at some of the products and bring these to life and some of the things that we're looking at doing in order to increase productivity with AI. So next slide, please. Okay, so zone capture, we're talking a bit about zone capture already. Saves people a huge amount of time in terms of reading invoices automatically and then populating the data into NetSuite. What are some of the things that we're looking at next? Well, firstly is document level processing. At the minute, we do it page by page, but obviously context goes across a whole document rather than just in the page. And as we've seen with AI, that context window is getting larger. It can understand more things at the same time, basically. We're able to move that from just single page to document level processing. And that means that it's got intelligence across the different pages. So it can do things like work out tax perhaps on a multi-page document. Again, I just finished speaking about it, but active learning. Active learning is like incredibly important for zone capture, that we pull that in and we start learning from those different the the different data that's been put into the system. This can be done in a couple of different ways, and obviously people can be sensitive about how models exactly learn from those from the data. But what we want to do is we want to be able to, where possible and where customers are comfortable, is working with them, is collectively sharing that intelligence that we get from that data and making sure everyone benefits from it in the system. So some of you may have heard about these kind of different learnings. You've got federated learning, where the models can see only your data, but it benefits from everyone else's data as well, in order to improve the system and get better at capturing the correct details into NetSuite. Finally, we want to broaden the scope of documents. We've seen great success with our customers in what we currently offer, and we want to build on that success by opening up into those different document styles and ensuring, though, that we've still got those good results. Okay, moving on to Zone Reconcile. Here it's kind of like a similar story. But we want to move, really our target here is touchless reconciliation. And so we want to go through especially the first 2 points on this slide, to ensure that, you know, those sort of month-end closes are as smooth as possible, that the reconciliation takes the least amount of manpower as possible. So we're looking at here at AI powered matching. So here we'll have the AI review what's being learned, and it will build complex rules so that it can then use those rules in future, so we can increase the reconciliation rate. But again, still matching that high accuracy, so that you've got good confidence in anything that has been matched correctly. Again, we'll want to do that through the active learning, whereby we look at what the outcomes were, feed that back into the system. So initially, there might be more manual corrections, but over time, we reduce that to near as zero as we can. And that's through feeding in what you've learned, so that people don't get annoyed by continuously having to make the same corrections. On top of that, we want to bring in an AI related Treasury Lite solution. And here we'll look at different elements. We've got 4 main elements that we're looking here. And again, this doesn't have to be all around generative AI. There is so much going on in just the AI space in general that it doesn't need to be focused on generative AI. So the first thing we're looking at is automated liquidity forecasting, and we've got really high-powered AI forecasting tools that allows us to use a similar tool for lots of different use cases that our customers will have. So right out of the box, we're expecting highly accurate forecasts, and these are things like 30-day liquidity forecasts, maybe even more, maybe even less. Next thing we're looking at is cash flow and variance analysis. So we had these forecasts, you have these cash flow projections, but you also have what happened in real life, and you want to know what is the difference there. Where did that go wrong to what we were projecting? Why has that gone wrong? Can I go look into it? And this brings up like data insights into understanding what has gone wrong. Also, you can do that variance analysis from 1 month to the next. So it's like, okay, cash flow is down this month. Why is that? And it can go down to previous months and have a look at why that is. What are those changes? In addition to that, and building on the forecast, we want to look at scenario planning. And there you'll be able to go into natural language and adjust your forecast to a different scenario one. So, hey, let me have a look at that forecast, but let's assume I increase all of my products by 10%. It will go in, it will change the data, and it will bring back a different forecast for you. And lastly, we're looking at working capital insights, so things like FX management, bank fee analysis, and optimization insights. All of those things so that we can proactively surface elements to you in order to grow your businesses. Okay, we'll move on to zone billing now. Zone billing, again, as already mentioned, we're currently working on a data agent, and this is a question and answer, but it's got access to your data. So you might have a natural language question like, okay, what was our subscription churn last quarter? Which bills are outstanding? Who hasn't paid? What's coming up? If it's in NetSuite, the agent can go there, it can go in, find that data, bring that data out, process it, and give you an answer. So no more sort of building saved searches. You can ask the questions and get the answer. Next on is what we want to develop that. So what we're building now is read only. what we want to look at is be able to also write to the NetSuite, and that's that workflow automation that I was previously speaking about, again, to cut down on your time. And then because customization is huge in NetSuite and across what we allow with our products, we want to be able to support that customization by allowing you to take what we build and adapt it for your specific business requirements, so it's just doing exactly what you want. Next up, we're going to take a break with me talking, and I'm going to show a little video of the zone billing agent, a little demo video. So Elliot, if you can show that now.
Hi, everyone. This walkthrough will demonstrate the new zone billing data agent. This represents a significant step in embedding AI into our platform to provide instant answers to complex billing questions. Currently, getting answers to questions about TCV billing gaps or customer history requires running multiple reports and manually consolidating data. The zone billing data agent eliminates this friction by allowing users to simply ask questions. Please note that while the UI shown is for demonstration purposes, this exact capability will be integrated into the existing zone billing AI assistant. Before we get into customer activity, let's open with a simple example. A user asks, what was the total value of subscriptions that started January 2020? In the background, the agent translates this natural language question into a precise SuiteQL query, runs it against your live data, and provides an instant answer directly from NetSuite. Now let's look at a more specific scenario. A user needs to see a customer's recent activity. Notice they type a query with a typo in the customer name. Let's see what happens. The agent intelligently identifies the intended customer, 123 test customer, and instantly returns a precise list of their billed charges for August. This circumvents the manual search and error correction process entirely. Building trust in the AI's output is critical. For every response, we provide complete observability. The user can click to view the actual data set the agent returned. This allows for immediate validation without having to navigate to another screen or report. For full transparency, users can also inspect the exact query the agent generated to pull the information. This confirms the logic used and provides power users with the detail they need to trust the result. Now, let's address a more complex business problem: billing leakage. A finance manager asks a direct, high-value question about unbilled charges with some complex grouping. The agent processes this request and returns a direct, actionable insight: a list of all charges that are past their intended bill date but remain unbilled, allowing the team to immediately follow up and capture at-risk revenue. What we've demonstrated isn't just a query tool, it's a faster, more intelligent way to interact with billing data. It provides immediate, accurate answers, builds user trust through transparency, and surfaces critical insights that protect revenue. Thank you so much for watching.
Anthony, you still there?
Sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, so that's the AI agent, and we hope to have that in production next year. What I'm going to talk about now is the central AI services that we hope to have across all products. So again, looking out, we've got forecasting. I've already spoken about that in terms of treasury and reconcile, but we're also looking at how we can use that same forecasting in our zone billing in order to have usage and charge forecasting. We're also looking at it in terms of our zone data portal and how we might do that for supply chain forecasting, which I know we've had requested. Moving on, we're also using a similar sort of system to do anomaly detection use cases. So anomaly detection in this case is essentially looking for a number that's out of place. So maybe it's a bill that's coming in that's too high, or usage that's coming in that's too low. We want to be able to surface those immediately so that you're not sort of trawling through all the data, or more likely, because you don't have the time, missing those potential insights. So we're looking at those in order to bring it to you. Again, usage anomalies with zone billing, but also financial anomalies with zone reconcile. and billing with zone capture. And also we can have a look at KPI deviation. So maybe your daily sales outstanding, you want to know if that is up or down, particularly on the month where it should be. Finally, just reflecting back on the zone billing AI agent capability, we will be pushing that out to all of our different products. So zone capture, zone reconcile, etc. And we want to be able to use that AI agent so that you can look across not only those individual applications, but all of the applications at once. So you get a much better understanding of how the finance team is operating as a whole. Okay, so I think that's me done for this. So I think now, Elliot, back to you and questions.
We have a few minutes for questions here. So if folks want to drop them in the chat, we're happy to answer questions, feedback, suggestions. We've got a couple of open minutes here. I have one or two that I can feed into you, Anthony, but maybe we'll give folks just a minute or two to ask any questions they have. And Anthony,
Yeah, sure.
thanks so much for giving us that overview. That was great. Super informative.
That's great. Yeah, and
I think maybe go ahead.
I was just going to say also, if they want to drop in a question they'd like to ask the AI agent, we could. That'd be great as well.
Do something live. I love that. Maybe while we're waiting for that to come in, Anthony, just one thing that you talked about with the active learning, and you made the point, but I want to double click and linger on it a little bit because I think it's so critical, is with that active learning, the tools in and of themselves become more accurate, more robust, more useful. Do I have that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, any AI is only good as the context you can give it, and everyone's business is different. So there is going to be some slight variation, particularly in the responses that it gives. So what we want to do is make sure that we learn from the inputs that people are giving it as they're using it. And so they'll be able to see it grow. And they know day one it's going to be good, but a few days down the road, it's going to get even better until it's excellent and doing exactly what they want.
It's awesome. Very cool.
And there's some pretty clever stuff that we can do about data sharing as well. So as I said, like it can be, it just learns from their data. That's absolutely fine. But we can also do some pretty funky stuff so that everyone can share their data without it actually being seen by anyone else. And the models learn from everyone and everyone benefits as well.
Amazing. Anthony, which feature or capability that we're rolling out are you most excited for?
I'm looking forward to the AI agent because I'd love to see how people use it. We've had people draft emails with it, all sorts. I just wasn't expecting that. But I'm also going to like some of the point automation because, AI is definitely not just generative AI. It's not just ChatGPT. There's lots out there that we can do, just to make even just the boring and mundane go away. So I'm also looking forward to some of that.
Very, very cool. I love it. Well, great. Thank you all for joining. We're right on time here, so we'll wrap up. Anthony, again, thank you. Appreciate you joining and giving your perspective. It's always so fun to hear from the expert on some of this stuff, and I'm really excited to work for an organization where we're doing as much as we are with AI and the advancements of our products. I think it's really going to just continue to grow the impact that our software can have. So I hope for the audience this was informative. We are available for follow-up questions offline or after the fact, but thanks for the time. Appreciate it, and we'll talk again soon.